Oh, I mean, who does not love eggs and toast? Everyone does. Anyway, on a side note, I hope that you have an excellent day. And I'm so excited that I can share this recipe. Sorry. I mean, who does not love a good egg yolk? Joke. Okay, that's it. I might tell you one later on. Eggs and toast it is. I mean, who does not love eggs and toast? I do, and I hope you love it too. I actually love it that much that I used to serve it as an entree when I used to manage and own some of Europe's best restaurant kitchens. So I came up with this fine dining version. I wanted to make it look like those beautiful Russian egg art creations you could see in the past centuries. But I wanted it to make it savory because sweet would be easy. I wanted it to taste amazing. So I can serve it as an entree. Something that will be so unforgettable delicious, like the best egg and toast ever. So I came up with this version, and I think you could still serve that today in a Michelin star restaurant easy. And off we go.
So first, bring a big pot of water to the boil and add some spinach, add some parsley, and then you blanch that sort of for 30 seconds or so. Then take it out, and you don't want to cook it too much because you just really want to get the juice out of those herbs and vegetables. Then into a blender, add some chicken stock, blend it to really fine puree, as fine as you can. So you need a pretty good blender for that. Set it aside, and then we're just going to strain that through. And that's basically the coating for our eggs. Now with that, you're going to have to work that out a little bit. You saw my chicken stock before was a bit jelly-like, so usually you then take 100 milliliters of that liquid, and to that 100 milliliters of liquid you add 1 gelatin leaf. So I'll show you that as well. You have the recipes in the link below. Also check out my online courses, they're pretty good, I think. And then just gelatin into cold water, let it sit there for 2 to 3 minutes, fish it out, then take a little bit of that green liquid and just warm up the tiniest little bit. So gelatin in a pot, on goes the green soup, sauce, whatever you want to call it, onto the stovetop, and just warm it. It just needs sort of 30 to 40 degrees. Gelatin is collagen, so when it gets cold, it gets really firm, just like you see sometimes with stocks when they jelly up, okay? So that's what we need in here. Set it on an ice bath and set it aside. So the second glazing we need to make is a consommé. If you ever know what that is, it's basically a double cooked chicken stock. It's clarified, so you chop up some vegetables, carrots, parsley, stalks, celery. As I said, the recipe is in the link below. Then add some egg whites. And that's a pretty good way to use up some leftover egg whites, which you can always freeze down. So what the egg white will do, it's the same thing when you sometimes read in wine, you know, they clarify it with egg white. So we're going to clarify our chicken stock or our consommé with egg white. I added some mincemeat for extra flavor. Mix it all together, get a pot, get some really fridge cold chicken stock. Add the mincemeat, egg white, vegetable mixture, whisk it all in. I should make a separate video to explain it out all much better and how you can flavor that. But the main thing is now when you start cooking it, you really need to make sure you stir it on the bottom until it comes to the boiling point. The egg white can really easily stick to the bottom. So when it then comes to boil, you need to get it to 1 full boil. I know that looks disturbing, but if you don't cook the raft or the consommé cake fully, it will not filter out the impurities of your consommé. Then just basically on a cake racks on a really low heat, you let that simmer along for 2 to 3 hours to get out all the flavor from the meat, and you can see the consommé has gone really clear. So I'm gonna do a bit of a cowboy chop today. I'm gonna just strain it off that way. I just put it in a sieve, so you do not do that at home. You need to strain it off really gently. Because I don't need that super clear consommé, and I'm a bit lazy today. I just can't be bothered, so I just dip the whole thing in there. And then, of course, you need to let that sit for at least an hour because there's a lot of liquid in the cake and that needs to drain out. Otherwise, you waste a lot of money. So then I will test my consommé. I will see if it is gelling naturally. And if it does, that would be pretty good, and mine should, because I had the really chili like chicken stock, but if it doesn't, then you need to add some gelatin. So you check it. So in my case, it wasn't actually thick enough, so I warmed it up again. I soaked some gelatin. The temperature of that is around 40-50 degrees. Season it with salt, of course. Stir it all well together. Put it back in the ice bath, and then you just let it go until it's almost solid. So next we need to boil the eggs. So when you boil eggs, don't cook them in a too high heat. So I just cook mine at around 80, 85, 90 degrees so that the egg white stays nice and tender. After that, I put it into really cold water and I let it sit in there for at least 2 to 3 minutes. Just simply that the egg shell then easier peels off the egg white. That's extremely important. If you just take it out from the boiling hot water and try to peel it, the eggshell will stick to the egg white. So make sure you put it or give it a real good temperature shock. Then you bash up all the eggshell like you see me doing here. Peeling becomes then really easy. Then I have some cups here. You could use whatever you want to. You can of course lay the egg down. It's easier to lay the egg down. I just make it a bit hard for myself, as I always like to do. Okay, then into the fridge. The eggs need to be really, really cold before you glaze them. So I had them in the fridge for an hour. I take them out. So my green coating is ready. I just sort of let that ooze over, just like I would glaze a chocolate cake, literally. So I'm gonna have to double glaze it because you can see it breaks a bit on the side, and I know that will do it. So back in the fridge, let it go ice cold, and then glaze it a second time. So you get a really nice thick glazing. And that's of course gonna taste absolutely amazing too. And then the last coating, after I had it in the fridge for another half an hour, is the consommé, or the clear chicken soup. So it's basically like a polishing, touching off. Next, the toast. I mean, it says eggs and toast in the description, so just get some really nice sourdough bread. Cut out some really nice sort of round slices, approximately twice as big as the egg, and then you just make a hole in the center as well, because the egg has to sit somewhere that it doesn't fall over, isn't it? So then you just toast that in some olive oil. Don't use butter, just use olive oil, and do it on a low heat. And that's your croutons, or in that case, my toast. Looks good, doesn't it? So let's go and plate it. I want to make it super fancy, so I will also, of course, add some salmon roe. If you're super rich and super wealthy, you could use caviar. I'm still trying to get there, so I have to use salmon roe. Okay, then put the egg on it. You can see how nicely glazed that is. And I kept some of the green liquid before, which I didn't share yet, I forgot to tell you, but you have it in the recipes, in the links below, and I just pour that liquid around. I put some salmon roe all around it. I put some gold leaves on it. I put some herbs around it. And I just make it look really, really nice. And then some salmon roe on the top, and there is my green egg. I think it looks pretty impressive. Of course, that's an absolutely amazing entree for your dinner party, because you couldn't all make it days ahead. And look at that. Oh my God. All right, I hope you enjoyed. Check out the recipe in the link below.
Okay, so that's it for today, yolks. Sorry. So I hope you liked my video. Check out my video on poached eggs, which would work well instead of boiled eggs in this recipe. And thank you so much for watching. Till next time. What do you mean the joke was bad? Oh well, I mean, I tell you what, I have much worse jokes. A friend of mine, he tells jokes that are so bad. Oh.